Hey guys, here we are on this chilly winter night, December 3rd. Gonna read Horace the Mole, okay? No need to see me. Fire is looking better anyway. Horace's heart swelled with love. He would keep those words close to his heart forever. The words that I'm referring to, guys, is a memory of Dad Mole telling Horace, "You're a great son, and I am immensely proud of you." The guilt he had carried like a heavy weight upon his narrow shoulders, blaming himself for his father's death, vanished thanks to a few honest, loving words from Dad Mole. "Now take a deep breath, son," Dad Mole's spirit coached. "That's right. Now slowly exhale all the oxygen from your lungs until none remains." Sure enough, Horace felt his head clearing after a few slow inhalations of oxygen, followed by complete exhalations. Feeling better, Horace asked, "What's going on, Dad?" "Son, listen. I don't have much time to tell you," Dad Mole's spirit responded. "Dad, don't leave me again," Horace shouted, feeling the wind die down and Dad Mole's voice trail off. The wind picked up and Dad Mole's spirit continued. "Sorrow and hardships are character-building tools God uses to teach us what is important in life. God is good. Have faith in Him. He will guide you. Goodbye, son. I love you always," and the voice was gone. "Dad, Dad," Horace cried, but there was no response. From a bag tied around his waist, Horace removed a homemade leaf handkerchief and wistfully dabbed his teary eyes. Down in the den below, Ma Mole heard what she believed was Horace crying and set out to investigate. "Huh, Ma," Horace gasped, startled by Ma Mole's sudden appearance beside him, her head popping out of the ground. She could clearly see Horace had been crying by his reddened eyes and asked, "Is it Dad Mole?" Horace's lips began to quiver and he nodded, afraid if he spoke he'd break down and sob. "Oh, honey," Ma Mole said, reaching for Horace's hand. "Why don't you come inside and have a cup of tea with me?" "Okay," Horace said, watching his mother descend into the ground. When she had vanished from sight, Horace raised his head and found himself looking across the garden directly into Miss Stander's jasmine patch, feeling like he was seeing and smelling the extremely fragrant white-flowered bush for the first time. To the nearest bush to gather for Ma Mole a bunch of flowers as a token of his love, Horace ran, hearing himself think. When we're young, we don't think about losing our parents. We just assume they will always be with us. We must learn to love today as if it's our last day on earth, for tomorrow may not come. Holding the jasmine stems between his teeth, Horace sunk his clawed flipper-like paws into the walls of the earthen tunnel and effortlessly made his way down to the den. Ma Mole was at the oven boiling water for her afternoon cup of dandelion tea. The flames from the flickering fire danced on the den's walls, creating a warm and homey atmosphere. Here's a picture of Horace giving Ma Mole the flowers he had picked. Stepping into the firelight, flowers hidden behind his back, Horace announced, "I'm home, Ma." Turning from the fire, Ma Mole embraced Horace, happy to have him home. He looked so much like his father, she told himself. For the first time, he looked beyond his mother's oval-shaped glasses, seeing brown eyes and hair sprinkled with gray, reminding him that Ma Mole was getting old, and those moments together were special, especially with time moving so quickly. This being the first time Horace had given flowers to anyone, He awkwardly thrust the flowers at Ma Mole and barked, "These are for you. I love you, Ma." Ma Mole was speechless. She was raised by parents and had married a mole who expressed love by providing a home and food to eat. Love as she had known it wasn't expressed with kind words, hugs, and certainly not flowers. As long as she could remember, she had longed in vain to hear her parents and husband embellish her with those three magical words, "I love you." Now there they were, out of the blue, making her heart swell with love. Many a mole would agree that those three magical words had the power to make you feel good about yourself. Ma Mole felt the wall she had built around her heart to minimize being hurt by others breaking down as she struggled to keep her emotions bottled up. Biting her lip, she lowered her head to hide her tears and softly sobbed, "I love you too." Horace felt like a hero, taking his trembling mother in his arms, hugging her tight. "It's okay, Ma, let it out," Horace said, a voice in his head whispering assuredly, "This is good. Crying together and sharing the pain of losing a loved one will allow the healing to begin and help let the sorrow go." Horace had heard the elders speaking one day, stating that in time it is possible to smile again even after losing a loved one. Horace wanted to believe this, and perhaps there was some truth to it, he thought. Having just shared such a special moment with Ma Mole, he felt giddy and grateful, witnessing the baby steps Ma Mole was making and letting go of the sad parts of her past. Ma Mole motioned Horace to sit at the kitchen table, really just an empty thread reel, and told him, "I guess we all need a good cry every now and again to cleanse the soul." Seated across from each other on thimbles salvaged from a discarded sewing kit, Horace and Ma Mole rejoiced in the gift of having each other. As Ma Mole poured the tea, Horace said, "Ma, you'll never believe what happened to me in the garden. It was both frightening and strange. At the same time, it gladdened my heart." Before Ma Mole could open her mouth to ask Horace to share his story with her, he started talking 100 miles an hour, describing his scene as if it had unfolded in the garden moments earlier. As if the words he spoke were burning his tongue. His eyes started to swivel in their sockets, and his paws sliced through the air, giving off the impression he was swatting at a fly. Ma Mole felt a bit silly, so caught up with Horace's story that she raised her arms with plans to do some swatting of her own, only to find there was no flies to swat. Suddenly Horace cried out, eyes with fright, causing Ma Mole to jump and bang her knobby knees against the underside of the table. "When the bushes began to shake, I feared it was Mitty en route to gobble me up, but it was only the wind," he said with a sigh of relief. Reaching across the table, Ma Mole patted Horace's paw. The look on his face pulled at her heartstrings. He looked like a scared little mole. She forced the terrible thought, what if something bad had happened to him, from her mind, fearing she would scream thinking about it. "In my youth," Ma Mole said, changing the subject to distance herself from any bad thought attached to Horace, "I witnessed your grandfather steer many a mole back from the dead end of dishonesty, stealing, and laziness, and down the path of honesty, respect, and hard work. Tell me, Ma, tell me all about Grandpa's good deeds," Horace pleaded. "Okay," Ma Mole said, smiling. "When I was young, we'd come home early from visiting Grandpa's brothers." "This was before you were born," Horace nodded. "And to our surprise, our neighbor, Charlene, was sneaking out of our mole hole. Come to find out, Charlene had been stealing food from us, and rather than get mad or tell the elders, thereby embarrassing Charlene, which Grandpa explained could only cause her to resent him, he simply asked her why she was stealing food he had worked extremely hard to gather. Charlene's answer had surprised Grandpa. Come to find out, Charlene never learned how to hunt. No one had ever taught her how to, and she was too embarrassed to ask for help. So what happened? Horace asked. Grandpa taught Charlene how to hunt. And me, that unselfish concern and love of others can turn a negative into a positive, Mamo responded. Where's Charlene now? Horace asked. She's now an elder teaching youngsters in the community somewhere by our old den, Mamo explained. So by revealing the root of Charlene's problem and helping her to learn how to fix it, her life was transformed, Horace said. That's right, honey, Mamo replied. Well, guys, that's it for now, and I'll come back to you in the very near future with some reading from Horace the Mole and Friends. Have a good night. Take care.